The Critic, or Family Guy, but actually funny and with a heart and soul. No wonder it canceled and stayed that way. Believe it or not, folks, this show is one of those few mediums that elevated my interest in movies. I watched this show at a young age and was so entranced by the lead character's love and admiration to classic films, and yet also his disenchantment and disgust with modern cinema. To that extent, in my current state, I can't necessarily say that I share this opinion, at least not entirely. Okay, there might be some preference to classic cinema, but I don't display open pessimism about the modern medium either. Anyway, this show focused on Jay Sherman, voiced by John Lovitz, the 36-year-old host of a fictional show called Coming Attractions, and he is the third most popular early morning cable TV film critic in New York. He's often depicted as cold, mean-spirited, and elitist, but in reality, most of his dislike for films, outside of the obvious fact for it being his job, comes from a love for cinema that has been disillusioned by seeing the commercialism that had overtaken the film industry. Despite his misgivings, though, he does show to be a character of high regard and strong morals, at least through the viewer's eyes. Examples: he shows that he greatly and deeply cares for his teen son Marty, voiced by the late Christine Cavanaugh, is shown to be kind, supportive, and protective of his 16-year-old sister Margot, voiced by Nancy Cartwright, and despite his obvious exasperation for them, he even shows love and devotion for his adopted parents, the eccentric Franklin and the prim and proper Eleanor, voiced by Garrett Graham and Judith Ivey, respectively. One thing that has always piqued my intrigue in this show is Jay's friendship with Jeremy Hawke, an Australian actor voiced by Maurice LaMarche. I mean, the two are best buds, and it's completely hard to fathom why. I mean, the two are the Jessica and Roger Rabbit of bromances. Jeremy's an attractive Hollywood star whose movies represents everything Jay stands against. And Jay is an unattractive and rather unpopular film critic who just happened to give Jeremy's first film its only positive review. For that, I guess Jeremy has remained a steadfast and loyal friend to Jay, always looking out for his best interest and saving and protecting him when it becomes necessary. The show has a unique distinction of not being canceled only once, but twice, and came back again as a web series. It was first broadcast on ABC in 1994, and after its first cancellation, it was later picked up by Fox in 1995, where it was then canceled later. The creators then picked it up for 10 additional webisodes in the early 2000s. Much of the major themes of The Critic is a satirization of the entertainment industry. There's a scene where Jay is forced by his boss, Duke Phillips, voiced by the late Charles Napier, to rate his movies on a scale of good to excellent. When asked what to do if he doesn't like something, Duke replies, quote, "That's what good is for," unquote. This shows the rather Kafkaesque universe within the sitcom setting, one that favors unbiased appeal over honest opinion. One of the best things about this show, though, is that Jay would review his films honestly. He really felt a passion for movies and was a hero for many, yours truly included, due primarily to his undaunted honesty and his ability to stand up for things that he believed in, even under the threats of losing his job or other persecutions, and the fact that he's otherwise a complete coward. That, ladies and gentlemen, shows character and integrity, which was what made Jay Sherman, through all his faults, one of television's most beloved anti-heroes. As it's also set in New York, the show itself seems to be a rather interesting love letter to that city, what with all the landmarks, buildings, and locations given enchanting display. Heck, this might be one of the few reasons why I've always wanted to visit that city. Of course, it also depicted the tough, dirty, and grimier underbelly of New York, such as satirizing the crime rate, the dirty politics, the pollution, and the general unfriendliness of residents. But hey, as one New Yorker once told me, can't love the good without appreciation for the bad. Next week on Penguins Rock, a tour into one eerie place. See you then!